What is up, guys? It is Double T here, and welcome back to another video. And welcome back to another brand new Subway video. And this is actually Philadelphia, brand new Subway Philly updated. Now, in the original brand new Subway Philly video, we only did the subways, but we didn't do regional rail. So this is the updated map with regional rail. And the map actually looks much different. It looks much different than before. There's a lot of new stuff. I think you guys saw, you guys see the trolleys. You see Market Frankfurt line color is a little bit different. Norristown High Speed line is the same. Broad Street line is made to be a lot more realistic to how service actually runs. We got the West Side line, and we got Patco as well, with some info stations. We do have some info stations like at Keynes Avenue and Tavistock. But now we're gonna get into the new stuff. So the first thing, as you can obviously see, is the regional rail, and that's all of the gray. All the gray lines you see here, that is the SEPTA regional rail, and it's actually not really current. It's like the dream, what's SEPTA regional rail should be. So we're gonna go through some extensions, and maybe we'll do like a second video to this, or not really a second video, but we're gonna make like another part, because we're gonna make a video on DE rail, or my proposed Delaware DE rail. It's similar to CT rail in Connecticut, but it's for Delaware. But back onto Philly. So the Media Wall line has been extended to Westchester. This was the original terminus of the line, and it has re-extended back to Westchester. The Wilmington Newark line has no changes to it. It just has info stations, but we're not really going to get into those. Some tap to your devices? No. The Paoli line has been extended 3 stops from Thorndale, or actually 4 stops in Thorndale, stopping at Calm, Coatesville, Westwood, Pomeroy, and Parksburg. That's actually 5 stops. I can't count. What's next? The Kenwood line. That is like way over here. Kenwood line has no changes. The airport line has no changes, besides an info station at Elmwood Park and another station at King Sisson. The we already went through that. The next line is a completely new line. This is the Sports Complex train. Really, it shouldn't really have stops, but it's just like a special events train that goes to the sports complex during game days. Its purpose is to provide an alternate option to the Broad Street line and the B2 Express straight to NRG station. The Bridgeport Hamburg line. This is another new line, So basically, on the Schuylkill River, you basically have tracks on both sides of the river. This is the Monteuc line, and right here's the Bridgeport Hamburg line. And there are actually towns here, which on the other side of the river, that this line serves. But then the two lines combine. And speaking of that, the Montjuic line has been extended as well. So both the Bridgeport Hamburg and Montjuic Reading lines is what it's now called. They will both head up together to go to Reading Railroad Station. And then Montjuic Reading line will branch off and serve while missing and terminate at Sinking Spring, while the Bridgeport Hamburg line will continue to parallel Schuylkill River to Hamburg Station. And now that we're over here, we're going to talk about these black lines. These black lines are the newly created Reading Railroad. Now, the Reading Railroad actually used to be in Philly, but now I serve them a better purpose, connecting towns to Reading that are too far away from Pennsylvania, or from Philly. So these towns right here, these lines are just a bit too far to be SEPTA services. So I'm a part of the Reading Railroad. So there are 5 lines, or 5 branches. There's the Pottsville branch, which is basically the main line. The Minersville branch, which is the branch with the most stations. The Port Carbon St. Clair branch. The Middleport branch. And the teeny tiny Port Clinton branch. So yeah. We also have another new line, the Norristown Allentown line. So this line runs via the Montjuic Reading line, and then it will turn up and serve Main Street and Elm Street, but then it will go north of Main Street, Elm Street, and serve East Norriton, Belfry, and Acorn, and then West Point and Goodman Square, before meeting up with the Lansdale Lansdale Doylestown line at Lansdale. Speaking of the Lansdale Doylestown line, that line has no changes. So another line will join it after Lansdale, and that is the Easton line, which goes via this section. So the Allentown and Easton lines actually meet up, but Allentown goes via the Montjuic, and the Easton line goes via the Reading division. And both both Allentown and Easton lines will run up here, snaking their way up until they get to DDR station. That kind of sounds wrong. And then both will split. Allentown line will stop at Bethlehem Terrace, Bethlehem, which is really in South Bethlehem, and Allentown Transit Center. Yes, the Allentown station is actually is under the Allentown Transit Center. And the Easton line will stop at Saucon, Shimmersville, Ivywood, Steel City, Reddington, Lime Ridge, Glendon, Southeastern, and then the line will cross the Lehigh River. And end up in West Easton before ending at the Easton Transportation Center. Similar to the Allentown Transit Center station, this line, oh no, oh what in the world, what happened here? Let's just fix that. There we go. Alright. So now let's get more into the Reading division. The Chestnut Hill lines are exactly the same. The Fox Chase line has been re-extended to Newtown. Now, unlike most other extensions, this area doesn't actually have tracks. It's actually like most of this extension is actually a rail trail currently. And the Warminster line has been extended to New Hope, closer to the New Jersey border. The West Trenton line is exactly the same, and the Trenton line is also exactly the same, with it only has an info station at Morrisville. I don't know why the Trenton line does not stop here. I think it should stop here, honestly, because this is a pretty significant town that the Trenton line is skipping. But yeah, that is SEPTA Regional Rail, and I think that if SEPTA did all of these extended, of course this is all going to cost a lot of money, but I think if SEPTA did all of these extensions and increased frequency, double tracked at most of the portions, because most of these portions are not double tracked, I think that this new SEPTA Regional Rail could be a game changer to a lot of those residents that live around the areas that it serves. But we are not done with regional rail yet. We have New Jersey Transit. Now, this actually used to be a lot different. So, New Jersey Transit, it's still, not really, it's still, you guys haven't seen this yet. So, basically, with New Jersey Transit, this new New Jersey Transit, if you guys don't know, with the Atlantic City line, it basically has to go up here, but then it has to go cross this bridge right here, which is not the Betsy Ross Bridge, this bridge. I think it's called the Delaware Bridge or something like that. It has to cross that bridge and then go all the way around North Philadelphia just to get to 30th Street. And I think that is a huge hassle. Why, dude? I mean, why could they not have just built a tunnel between Philly and Camden, which is what they should have done, honestly? I mean, they did it with New York. I mean, you have the North River tunnels in New York, because honestly, they kind of had to build that because nobody was going to just transfer onto a ferry. But why couldn't they have done that with Philly and Camden? So that is exactly what I did here. I built a tunnel that connects Philly and Camden. So this other tunnel, this new tunnel, actually runs directly under JFK Boulevard. Since that is kind of the only suitable location we could put this tunnel. So it will start at 30th Street. All the lines will start at 30th Street and then stop at City Hall, the Philly City Hall. And then stop at Camden Station. Now, in PATCO terms, this stop is called City Hall, but I decided to rename it to just Camden Station, but I didn't really know what to call it. So I decided to call it Camden Seashore Station, since that is where all the seashore lines, the Cape May seashore lines, terminated. That's where all the lines terminated. So after this, basically, we have reactivated almost the entire South Jersey commuter rail network. Almost all the lines are back. So the Atlantic City line is still here, like the City line, but instead of crossing the Delaware Bridge, now it could just go up here, follow the river line, and then turn at Pennsauken Transit Center, and then now this is the existing portion after Pennsauken. This is the existing portion of the Atlantic City line, and it can go on its way to Atlantic City. Now, since all of the other lines are completely new, we will talk about them. So the Mount Holly line is the northernmost line. It's as north as the South Jersey rail lines go, and is one of the shorter lines. It will branch off the Atlantic City line at the new Merchantville station and run all the way to Mount Holly, with some notable stops at Hainesport, Morristown, Maple Shade, no, it's West Morristown, Maple Shade, and Hartford. And this Hartford station is actually close to Funplex. This is where the Mount Laurel Funplex is. So if you didn't want to drive to Funplex, you can now take New Jersey Transit. Of course, you would have to start on 30th Street. That's kind of a hassle. So the Cape May line, this was by far the most difficult one to make, or at least one of the most difficult. So originally, the Cape May line branched south. That's what I had to do. But now, it follows the Atlantic City line. It follows the Atlantic City line. It will skip all the Packville stations, and then make all these stops until we get to Winslow Junction, where the Cape May line will branch and run all the way through the desolate and like middle of nowhere of South Jersey. Will run down all the way through here, past this line, and make its way to Cape May Courthouse. So there are some notable stops here, actually. You have Tuckahoe, of course. You have Woodbine, which is somewhere over here. Yeah, Woodbine's over here. And you got Richland, which is somewhere north. Does it stop at Richland? Yeah, there we go. Then you also have Dennisville and South Dennis. Then after Cape May Courthouse, it will run to Rio Grande, and then finally make its way to Cold Spring, and of course the terminus and the southernmost point of New Jersey, Cape May. Now actually, we do have another line right here. This is the Wildwood Dinky. So this kind of serves a similar purpose as the Princeton Dinky, which is a shuttle line that goes from Princeton Junction to Princeton, near Princeton University. This kind of serves the same purpose. It goes from Rio Grande and goes to the Wildwood bus terminal. Now let's go back up here and show you the Ocean City line. So the Ocean City line is by far the shortest of the main lines, and is also the only main line that doesn't go to Philly. to get to Ocean City, you have to go to Atlantic City. So this line starts at Atlantic City. It will stop at Pleasantville, then Northfield, Linwood, Somers Point, and finally it will end at the Ocean City Transportation Center. And then we have the other 5 lines. So first up, let's talk about the Blackwood branch. This is kind of the odd one out of the branches that go south. So the Atlantic City, Cape May, and Mount Holly lines go up here, and all the other lines go down here. And then the Blackwood branch will branch off at Morgan Village. Originally, this line ended at Runnymede, but I extended it to Blackwood and Grenlock, which I think is the full extent of the line. And then, in all the other lines, we'll continue down here. And at Woodbury Junction is where the Penns Grove and Salem branch off. So the Penns Grove branch will run on the coast of the Delaware River, with notable stops at Paulsboro and Bridgeport, and then it will end at Penns Grove and Carneys Point. On the Salem branch, has notable stations at Swedesboro and Woodstown, running all the way to Salem. And after those 2 lines branch off, the final 2 lines, which is the Millville and Bridgeton branches, will continue together. They will continue together, stopping at Winona, Woodbury Heights, Oak Valley, Winona, Sewell, Pittman, Rowan University, Glassboro, Main Street, Clayton, Franklinville, Iona, Malaga, Newfield, North Vineland, and Vineland. And then the Bridgeton branch will branch off, stopping at Norma, Rosenheim, Garton, Woodruff, Carl's Corner, and finally Bridgeton. And the Millville branch will continue, stop ending at South Vineland, Clayville, and finally Millville. Now there is another line here, the Elmer line. So this Elmer line is also a shuttle line. It connects Glassboro with Elmer, with stops at Aura Station. Yeah, that's actually what the town is called. And Monroeville. So now we have 2 more lines to talk about. This next line is and we're going to talk about the River Line next. So the River Line actually ends. I originally thought the River Line was complete and it couldn't be extended from Entertainment Center, but it can actually be extended. They could actually extend it and extend it a long way too. So after Entertainment Center, they could extend it south with stops at Bergen Square, Ferry Avenue, South Camden, and Broadway. Okay. And then it will go either under or over the New Jersey Transit and end up on this right of way. Now, this right of way actually paralleled the Atlantic City line right of way and ran up to Winslow Junction. So now the River Line can connect all of these towns. And while there isn't any interchange here, which there kind of should be, all of these towns are now connected. And honestly, there is a lot of towns here. So yeah. So we got Centerville, Woodland, Fairview, West Collingswood, Oakland, Audubon Park, Audubon, Haddon Heights, Barrington, Lawnside, Snow Hill, Magnolia, Greenland, Somerdale, Hinella, Stratford, Laurel Springs, Clementon, Albion, Pembroke, Townsboro, Florence, Cedar Brook, Braddock, Blue Anchor, and finally Winslow Junction for transfer to the Atlantic City line, the Cape May line, and the final line, which is the Vineland to Winslow line. The Vineland-Winslow line is kind of a short line. It starts at Park Avenue and runs to Winslow Junction. So it kind of connects this division with this division right here. And it is light rail. This originally was supposed to be a further extension of the River Line, but I decided to stop it since it would be kind of hard. Because these tracks were directly perpendicular of where this line runs. So if we zoom in to Winslow Junction, you can see these are the River Line tracks. These are what is now the River Line tracks, and these are the Vineland-Winslow tracks. And then the final thing here is the ACES, the Atlantic City Express service, or at least part of it. So this new Atlantic City Express service is, it's not really what it's supposed to be. It's not really a complete line, because this line is actually supposed to go all the way to New York. But since this is a Philly map, we can't really do that. So this ACES service will actually run to Atlantic City. And this is the only portion I have on the map. It is the old Newfield branch of the Cape May Seashore lines, which stops at Cardiff, Rega, Mays Landing, Mizpah, Whatnot, Landisville, Downtown to Newfield. But then it will actually go express. It will actually go express. And it will stop at Woodbury Junction so that Penns Grove and Salem riders can access it. And then it will stop at Morgan Village so that Blackwood riders can access it. And then it will stop. Its next stop will be at Camden. And then it makes kind of a local trip. Stops at Camden and then City Hall, then 30th Street. And then the ACES line will actually continue via the Northeast Corridor. it will continue up via the Northeast Corridor, via the Trenton line. It will stop at North Philadelphia so that Chestnut Hill West riders can access the line. Also making a stop at Bridgeburg so that Circle Line riders can access it. And then its next stop will be at Trenton. And after Trenton, that is as far as the map goes. It was basically, because north of Trenton is, well, the New York division of New Jersey Transit, and I don't have that on the map since this is a Philly map. But basically, the ACES line will run from Penn Station all the way to Atlantic City via the Newfield branch and the Northeast Corridor. And that is basically what the purpose of this tunnel is. It's not just supposed to be a rejuvenation of South Jersey railroads. It's also supposed to be a faster service. It can also work for intercity purposes. Amtrak can actually bring back, if this were to be built, Amtrak can actually bring back their Atlantic City service, and that's what ACES was. It was an intercity service that ran from Philly, New York. I don't really know exactly where it ran, but yeah, it was basically Amtrak to Atlantic City. So yeah, Amtrak could certainly reopen more. Like, there can be an ACES service via the Newfield branch, and there can also be a Cape May train intercity service, but that is not on the map. I was gonna put it on the map, the CMES, the Cape May Express service, but I didn't bother putting it on the map. I mean, its only notable station would be at Woodbine, which, yeah, this would be its only notable station. This is where it would stop, and then it would just go straight. It will only stop at Cape May Courthouse and Rio Grande before going straight to Cape May. So yeah, there is potential with that Delaware River Tunnel. A lot of new possibilities could open. But again, and yeah, for it to work, it needs to be its own exclusive line, run under JFK Boulevard, and have a connection to the Northeast Corridor so that Amtrak trains can use it. Not just Amtrak, but potentially ACES can come back. So yeah, that is going to be it for the updated Philly map. This map was honestly a lot of trial and error. This took me a long time to do, obviously. So, we have done Boston, we've done Philly, we've made videos on New York already. I honestly don't know what city to do next, because I really don't. I mean, maybe we could possibly do Montreal. We could even do London if we really wanted to, but I think that would just take way too long. And Philly already took me a really long time to do. But yeah, that is going to be it. Thank you guys for watching, and this will most likely be one of the last, if not the last, videos of 2024. It is December 30th. I don't know if I'm going to come up with another video on the 31st. Hopefully I do. But yeah, this will be the final brand new subway video of 2024. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video or in the new year. Peace.